lighting up, I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. If it's a liquor in my system, my desires are so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in, make me feel. Draw me in, make me feel. Draw me in, make me feel. But you look so good, I don't know what you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it rain. In my system, my desires are so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make me feel. Keep running back to me, running back again. I see you changing, that's the feeling. Body resting on my chest. I guess that my shoulder is all you get. When you moved around, yeah, that's where I fell to the ground, baby. You like to move in silence, baby, so do I. This could either be hell or a paradise. Talking to your friends, baby, so do I. About you, we both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. We both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. So we can forget even if it don't last. Baby, when I get up in it, you forget the past. I'll make sure to cut all of the strings that get attached. You make sure to call me every time you want me back. Say your name, say your name. I'm just Medicaid. Say your name, say your name. I like to move in silence, baby, so do I. This could either be hell or a paradise. Talking to your friends, baby, so do I. About you, we both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. We both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. And we both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. And we both know it's true. I gotta lie to you. I gotta lie to you.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome back to another Valhallan Campo live stream. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an eternity. At least it seems that way to me. Hopefully to all of you as well. Hopefully you've all missed all of our lovely content. Hopefully you missed my lovely face up here getting the yap into your guys' ears every single night. But we are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back in the season. Competition is live. And we, of course, are back up here live watching some of our fantastic teams play and perform to the best of their abilities to see just how much they are willing to leave in the game. And this season is a little different, y'all. As some of you may or may not know, a lot of these teams are competing for something a little bit more than just a banner. Excuse me. They are competing for a qualifying spot in the ESC in Orlando, Florida at Full Sail University. And wow, is that event really turning into something? I unfortunately can't share too many details. Haven't been given the green light to do that yet, but I can tell you guys that event is going to be massive. It's going to be huge. Going to be a major turnout. And I hope all of you are excited. I know I'm excited, but that's besides the point. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of very talented Fortnite teams to watch tonight. So let me very quickly introduce you to them before we get dropping here. Actually, before I do that, I'm just going to apologize. You guys know, it's been a little while. I'm a little rusty. I'm going to make mistakes. Hopefully you guys don't judge me too much. I promise this isn't as easy as it seems. It's very bright up here. The lights are, wow. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to watch some good Fortnite. But now let me introduce you to the teams that we'll be watching tonight. Our primary team, the team we will be watching the most of, is Team Guff. They are in a very good position going into this spring season. They are actually ranked on the power rankings, I believe, I want to say 3rd or 4th, so they are in a very good spot. But that team is composed up of Lachlan, aka Shammy, oh my gosh, excuse me, and Eli, aka E the Bean. Second team we'll be watching is another very talented team, a team we expect great things out of. This team is the Chefs, and that team is composed of course, Jack, aka Chef Jack, and Jordan, aka Ravine23. Our third team is another very talented team, a team that some of which we've seen quite a bit from, some of which we haven't, so it'll be really interesting to see how this team plays. This team is the GOATs and is composed up of Brady, aka BL Mace, and Nick, aka Mello. So obviously you guys know we've seen a lot of Brady. We've seen a lot of Brady in build, in zero build, but Nick is a little bit of a new factor, at least for me up here. So really interested to see how he can perform and how well this team can perform as a unit in this Division 1. And finally, the fourth team that we will be watching is the YoYoz. This is another team we've seen half of the roster quite a bit, and the other half is a little bit of an X factor. This team is composed up of Parker, aka VHCH 17. Parker we've seen a lot of, and his teammate though, Roland, aka Roland Bot, is someone that is moving up to Monday nights, thinks he's ready for competition, so we will have to see how he can handle himself in this Division 1 tier. But ladies and gentlemen, the introductions are underway. Now that we are through with them, I hope you guys are all very excited, and I just want to tease something to you guys. Obviously, they are not all done. It's still a little bit of a work in progress, but if you all go in and look at our emotes, we have some new emotes here on our Valhallan Camp Hill Twitch channel. So take a little peek-see in there. Obviously, there's only a couple. They're not all done. Still work in progress, and I hope you guys are looking forward to seeing more of those, but we have a couple free ones and a couple sub ones. I have to shout out. I have my own personal one. All of the coaches ideally are gonna have their own personal one. We're gonna rotate them in and out. So mine is currently in there. One of our Valorant coaches, Coach Jacobs, is the other coaches that's in there. Don't worry, again, there's still a work in progress. More are to come, but we see something hype. Feel free, spam the emotes. I want to see them used tonight, hoping that they get used. And with that being said, I suspect that we are probably just a few seconds away here from drop. And I don't have any definite. And actually, it does look like we do have some drops happening. So I will keep my eye out on this Division 1 drop. And Division 1's a little unique this time, because there's actually 2 halves of the division. So it looks like 1 half of the division is in. So let's actually take a quick gander on over to the other half of the division, those being the GOATs and the YoYoz, and see how they're going to start off early in this drop number 1. The first week of Fortnite spring season, the first drop. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Again, starting with the GOATs, since it doesn't look like the other Division 1 drop has started yet. Again, this team is composed up of Brady and Nick. So we will have to keep an eye on these 2 players. It looks like our other side of Division 1 will be dropping here very, very, very shortly. Until then, we're going to watch this half of Division 1 as we see both of the teams that are in Division 1B, we'll use just for factor here, have a very veteran player and a very new player. So it'll be really interesting to see how these teams connect. Still playing at a very high level. Still, of course, competing for a chance to qualify for the ESC. And it looks like Brady here gonna try and set a rotation point of where he and his teammate Nick should go next. And the really interesting thing about these new teams, these Division 1B teams, is that because of the amount of experience that half of the team has, you're really going to see an impact on how much that rubs off on the other half. Specifically in this case scenario, Nick, but Roland on the other team, really going to have to make sure that they're playing solid Fortnite, that they're picking up on all of the little micro things that their IGLs, in the case of the team we're watching, Brady, or in the case of YoYoz, Parker, are doing to make sure that they are maximizing their gameplay so they are not a detriment to their more experienced teammate. And realistically, the shoe is on the other foot with that too, as it goes on the experienced teammate to make sure that they are showing good mechanics, showing good foundation skills, showing good game sense, so that their lesser experienced teammate can pick up on those things and kind of follow in the footsteps of the more advanced player here. And so far, let's actually take a little peek on over to Nick's perspective here. And we see pretty good loadout. Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. We were watching Nick's perspective the whole time. We're now watching Brady's perspective. So, very interesting here. We do see a little bit of space, and it looks like they are going to find themselves in a fight early. Brady kind of getting outmatched here with some builds. Can't really get himself on high ground. Tries to find a couple shotgun shots. Landed one, but hasn't found another one yet. Brady kind of reload his gun. Let's go back to Nick here. Nick in the build has to hold a little bit of a more interesting position. So it looks like maybe he's going to try and close some of that space. He's going to try and group up with his teammate Brady here. Very good call. And I didn't see a kill. I don't know if Brady got one. I feel like I would have saw something in the chat, but maybe the other team just going to get out. And this team going to have a free couple seconds here to get themselves back under control. And while they do that, let's go back to our primary team of Guff and see how they're doing. Again, this is our primary team, Guff. This team composed of Lachlan, a.k.a. Sham, and Eli, a.k.a. E the Bean. Currently watching Lachlan's perspective here. And this is a very high-level team, a very high-rated team. This is the team that we expect the best from. So let's see if they have it in them. They need to perform week in and week out if they want to secure their spot in the ESC. And this team, a very good chance of doing that. So as long as they keep the game in their hands, it can be possible. Their futures could be written in the stars here, but that will all be up to them. As we see Lachlan here just farming up some metal, although does get shot from behind, and now he's going to have to buy some time while Eli takes some shots from distance. And Eli did land some shots, although Lachlan, a big damage shot there. He lands 45, but takes quite a bit as well. And Lachlan getting pushed very hard here. We're going to switch over to Eli's perspective. It looks like maybe some of the panic getting to them. Eli tries to find a shotgun shot, but misses the head of the other player. And they have to be so careful here. They cannot afford any mess ups, especially an early exit like this one. Even one bad week could make or break these guys. And we talk about future potentially written in the stars, but playing a very smart game here, just slowing themselves down, not needing to put themselves in a bad position. They're just going to try and work their way out here. I'm going to try and get as much information as possible. I'm going to see some cone tricks here, trying to get some insight on where this team that was pushing could have gone. Looks like maybe they're free, but I don't want to make any quick judgments. It looks like we are going to see the jetpacks out of Dodge. Or I guess I should say the wingsuits out of Dodge. As they land a little bit away. And you're now going to have to farm up a lot of those mats that were just spent in that build fight. Luckily, though, lots of wood, lots of brick around. Not much metal was used. So hopefully these guys are able to recover quick. And let's go over to our secondary team of the Chefs and see how those guys are doing. The Chefs, composed up of Chef Jack and Jordan. Currently watching Chef Jack's perspective here. We do see some kills going off in the kill feed, but doesn't look like any friendly names there. Something I always like to keep my eyes on. And really, we're just seeing solid fundamental Fortnite here from Jack and Jordan. Looks like gonna take a launch pad. Maybe you can try and double launch. No, decide against it. Just gonna try to get in that circle. Get some insight of where some opponents could be. We do see the launch pad marked. Definitely something they're going to have to keep their eyes out for. And while these guys are just surveying the map, let's go to our fourth team, aka the YoYoz, and see how they're doing. Like the YoYoz may have already been eliminated, so we're going to quickly go back to Guff. They are holding on. They had to bounce back a little bit, and it looks like so far they did, as it looks like actually they find an elim. It looks like they have one kill each, so maybe a team wipe. Hard to say for sure because we didn't get to see it, unfortunately. We saw the very end of that kill they just got. And just such good game sense here we're seeing from Eli. This team, we have to make sure, though, they don't get too aggressive. This team has suffered from that in the past. Well, they do see someone, though. Decide not to take any shots. Don't want to give away their position quite yet. Although someone getting a free reboot right now. It looks like maybe they're going to try and go in on this reboot. And it looks like Lachlan's going to lead the charge. Going to try and break into the box. Hasn't been successful yet. Actually, looks like he has, but can't find the player. Finds a big shotgun shot there, though. And the player wipe combination between Lachlan and Eli's. I think Eli is going to get the kill credit for that one, but a huge push there from these guys. And this is the kind of gameplay you expect to see from a very high-ranked team in the VHEL. We see some more marks come through here. And some building and some shots fired right next to them. It looked like maybe they're going to try and take this fight. A little separated here. Lachlan does a really good job at closing the gap, though. And they have some good high ground. Just need to be able to maintain that. It looks like maybe they're going to try and get all the way up the mountain. Maybe just decide to rotate out. Lachlan going to clear the bush. Eli a little bit lower on the mountain. I don't know how Lachlan didn't take any fall damage from that fall. Looks like a lot of fighting just happened at this location, but nothing but the scraps left for now. They're going to need to make sure that they don't let this separation continue to happen. This is another one of the big struggles we've seen from this team, is they just get separated too easily. And someone takes a lot of damage and they don't have enough time to close the space. And it looks like that time it was not an issue. Gonna try and use that launch pad effectively here. Gonna throw it out so we can continue to carry the meds. I don't know where there's like those grenades look like med smoke grenade kind of things. Very interesting. That's a very interesting item. And just gonna try and stay above everybody's eyes here, but Lachlan does take some damage. Now has to try and get down quick. A little bit of a bold strategy, but no, Lachlan doesn't make it to the ground. And now Eli has to cover. And you would suspect that these guys are going to get pushed quickly here. Does Eli have enough time to get the res off? And it looks like he does. And now Lachlan needs to use this time to heal himself back up and to make sure that he's not a burden in this late game. As it looks like he is able to get back up pretty quickly. And let's... Oh, no, never mind. It looks like we're going to see an engagement happen here. We were going to take a quick peek on over to the chefs, but... maybe trying to find a spleef here of the build, and they do, but the player going to be able to get out. Eli landing a couple shots. We don't know if Lachlan landed any, but going to try and take some breaths here. Let's switch on over to the chefs very quickly and see if they're still alive. The chefs not alive. Let's see if the goats are still alive. The goats not alive either. So it's all up to Team Guff. Only Division 1 team left between both halves. And let's see what they can do. This is what you expect of a top-tier team. You expect good things. You expect top-tier placements. A lot of footsteps on the visual audio indicator. We're seeing some building here. Need to make sure that they don't put themselves in a bad spot here. It looks like maybe they try to find another spleef on this build, and they do, but nobody's home. Using the free seconds to exchange some ammo here, making sure they're all good to go. Still, at least Lachlan, pretty solid mats-wise. We don't know what Eli's numbers are looking like. And it looks like they're going to use the movement boost here from that grenade to get themselves into the new zone quick, but they land right on another team, and Lachlan lands a big 77 shot, but a lot of pressure on as he goes down to 12. Gonna use one of those smoke grenades here. Lachlan gonna try and buy himself as much time as possible to get back up to full health. And just not being pushed as he is able to. Eli back to full health as well. And even though the resources are gone, not the worst case scenario for the way that engagement started off and how they are now. And they are right on the edge zone here. Have to make an interesting decision. Maybe thinking about taking the rail in once it starts to move. No, just wanted to go in the direction of it. Trying not to take any unnecessary damage from the storm here. And you are seeing masterful planning from Lachlan and Eli here as they just use builds to their advantage to maneuver out of danger. And huge IQ there from Lachlan, farming some of the materials he can with the free seconds. There's some brick around, there's some wood around. Why not get it if you have the opportunity? That little bit of wood, that little bit of brick might make the difference in an endgame box fight. But we still see Lachlan on max metal. Eli also on max metal. So these guys have a little trick in their back pocket if necessary. And we see some separation happening. Lachlan getting caught out. Luckily, Eli decides to get out. Lachlan's going to drop a bunch of materials here. Eli typically elected to be the better builder. And Lachlan takes a bunch of damage from Storm there. They can't get grouped up. Lachlan trying to fight in the storm and can't get out. And he is going to fall. And now it's all up to Eli, who's got a lot of pressure. Still 14 players alive. Eli tries to find the player in the storm that killed Lachlan, and he does. Gonna be able to pick up some armor, or not some armor, some ammo, excuse me. Gonna be able to pick up some mats. But no free second in these endgame combats. 12 players left. Eli just runs right past someone, but does his best to try to hug that storm edge as it is quickly fading away to nothingness. We saw he tried to heal there, but really didn't have a lot of time. Does a good job there, though, at getting that heal off.
Heads up, hey guys, drop codes are coming up soon. Please be ready to get into a new game. As a reminder, teams are way more aggressive than usual. And a bunch of teams get pushed.
Oh, Eli down to 10, but can't get out. And what a place there for these guys as they finish 6th in week 1, drop 1. So a huge start there for Team Guff as they also finished with 4 elims for that drop. So those are the kinds of things you expect out of that team. Those are the kinds of things that we want to continue to see out of that team. Drops ending here probably within the next minute or so. So, wow, just what a crazy amount of Fortnite that we've seen so far. And it's only week 1. Only week 1, drop 1. There's still a whole lots of weeks left, a whole lots of drops left, and there's still ESC And it looks like we do have some drop codes getting posted. None that we are concerned about, at least, but drop codes are getting there. So hopefully not too long of an intermission between the games. And again, wow, just what a way for this season to start. Absolutely incredible. Huge shout out to all of our teams. Obviously, there's some rust. Obviously, there's some nerves. A lot of these players have taken some time off. You know, it was the winter. Now we did have the winter season, but there was a lot of traveling with the holidays and everything going on. So, you know, there was there was a lot of time off. A lot of things were up in the air, but you guys know the fall and the spring season are the big seasons. Those are the seasons that matter the most, not only in the terms of ESC, but also just in general. We have the most registrations for those seasons, the most teams, the most fierce competition. So, of course, there's going to be a little rust. Of course, players are going to have to get back into it. They're going to have to get back into that competitive spirit, back into the grind that we've seen, and we expect to see week in and week out, that we know these players go through. And just what a way, specifically for Guff, to start to kind of cement themselves in the running for that ESC qualifier. This is a team that is hungry. They want to go to Florida. They're willing to do what it takes to make that happen, but it's all in their hands. They have to continue to perform. And now, I'm not a betting man. That is so wrong. I am totally a betting man. That's besides the point. What really matters is those guys have to perform week in, week out, like I just said, because the future is in their hands. And one or two bad drops could take them from qualification to no chance of getting back. And that is something also that a lot of these players are having to deal with this season, with the changes of ESC being introduced, is unfortunately there's a lot more pressure. And that's something that really doesn't get talked about a lot. I know a lot of the coaches, me being one of them myself, you know, we try to take that pressure off. We try to just focus on the week in front of us, the games in front of us, the drop in front of us, whatever it may be. But unfortunately, we cannot always do that. It's always easier to say that from an outside perspective when you're not the one playing, when you're not the one competing, when you're not the one that wants to go to Florida and wants to show off their skills live in front of the best teams in the country and potentially some of the best high school and college teams in the country. So, of course, there's a lot on the line. Of course, there's a lot of pressure. Especially this season. This is the big season for them. But these teams have to lock in. They have to put that beside them. And they have to play their game. And so far, we've seen that. But there are still some other teams that are in the hunt. And we know Guff is in a very good spot, especially with that drop. I would predict that they're in a very good spot. But we have teams like the Chefs that are still in the hunt. And unfortunately, we didn't get to see how they did. Or, excuse me, we didn't get to see how they did in drop one. But it's really important that they're playing well. And also our Division 1-2 teams, they are also still very much alive, still very much in the hunt. So really gonna have to make sure that they can get things squared away here. Obviously, I know I think I probably speak for most of the coaches here when I say, of course, it would be an honor to be able to send one of our teams down there. But I know Coach Kyle ideally wants to send as many as possible. Coach Kyle, a very competitive guy. He won't tell you that, but I know. You know, he's a banner collector, and he is a Florida contestant collector. And whether he will admit that or not is one thing, but it's the truth. And I anticipate that Coach Kyle is going to be pretty satisfied with how this week went so far. And as long as we see another good drop here, I think he's going to be very satisfied with how this week 1 went. And obviously, there's always room for improvement. There's always things that you can continue to work on, but that's just my prediction. Who am I? I'm just the caster. Oh, I should talk about some other updates. So I talked to you guys a little bit about the emotes, which again, those are in the chat. Make sure you're using them when anything cool happens. There are some follower emotes, and we're also working on some subscriber emotes. Those not all done yet. There are more to come, but use the ones we have now. Continue to keep an eye out as you tune into streams for the emotes. Obviously, we have quite a few, but there is also going to be some other things changed about our stream. I know you guys see this lovely green screen that's behind me that maybe you can or can't tell is a green screen because it's just a background, but I can smack it. And I promise it's a green screen. If you come into the arena, you know it's a green screen. Or if you've seen our lovely stinger, or our lovely intro and outro screens. I was really blank on that word for a second. Or our team change stinger or anything like that. A lot of that stuff is going to get updated here very soon. Luckily, we have a graphic design intern, and she's been doing great work. She has made all the emotes for us so far, so huge shout out to her. And hopefully here soon, her next project is going to be the stream overlay and all that fun stuff. So hopefully she will cook something up that is very visually appealing to you all lovely folks at home that watch our streams. And I know that I'm also in the works to try to up some of the production quality for you guys. So I have something, I'm not going to reveal what yet. But I do have some stuff in the works to up stream production, especially in playoff times and everything. So keep your eye out for that change. Maybe we'll roll it out this season if it's done. Maybe we won't. I don't know quite yet. Obviously, that will be to be determined, but I'm very excited to see how those things go. And it looks like we do have some teams dropping, and actually we have some teams that we are watching. We have our Division 1B teams dropping. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to tune into the GOATs and watch them to start their drop number 2. So let's get into it. All right, we are going to watch Brady's perspective here to start. And see what the GOATs can cook up. And ladies and gentlemen, I made a mistake that I have to apologize for. I thought the chefs were in Div 1A, but they're actually in Div 1B. So completely my mistake. We do have another team that we are not watching tonight in Div 1A. Fortunately, one of their players was a little sick and could not compete tonight. So one of them is competing by themselves. But hopefully next week when they're back and hopefully feeling better, we will make sure we get some gameplay of them in. Where we're going to see just some really good fundamental Fortnite here from Brady and Nick as they get this drop number 2 started, as it looks like 1A is potentially dropping here as well. So let's tune back into Guff in a little bit. We'll see how those guys are doing, but I'm going to continue to watch our Div 1B teams for a little bit. I do. Is there a specific team or specific player that you would like to know? Unfortunately, I don't know everyone's actual individual drop results. 'Cause some of them I just didn't get to witness, so I don't know exactly where they ended. But I can tell you, I know where our primary team, Team Guff, or ended, as I did actually get to see their final result. So, if that's the team that you're looking for, I can share. If that's not the team you're looking for, unfortunately, I don't know exact placements of where they were. Now, while it looks like Brady and Nick here are going to continue to play some solid fundamental Fortnite, let's tune on over to the YoYoz and see how they're doing early in this drop number 2. Currently watching Roland's perspective here. And this is a team we didn't get to see much of in drop number 1, so I'll try and push these guys, not a bunch more, but just a little bit more. Try and get them a little more featured. This is a very solid team, but again, half of it being newer to this level of competition. So, of course, always interested to see how they can play as a team here. Wow, what a good way to start. That's some good loot to find. The MK7, arguably one of the best ARs in the game. Actually, probably my favorite AR that's ever been in the game. So it looks like here, these guys are also just playing some very solid fundamental Fortnite. Yes. Team Guff, aka Eli and Lachlan, finished 6th with 4 kills in Division 1A. So very solid finish from those guys. I think they were maybe a little bit upset about that placement. Although don't really think they need to be. Those guys are in a very good spot, potentially qualify for ESE. So as long as they continue just to play solid Fortnite, they should do everything that they need to try and book that ticket. All right, and while these guys are just going to continue to play some solid fundamental Fortnite, tune into our final Div 1B team, the Chefs, before we get back to our Div 1A team. And again, this is a team that still very much in the hunt. Let's see how they are going to do. This is a team that realistically has a lot of eyes on them, whether they know it or not. And we see there, I just have to take a second to shout out Nick and Brady getting some kills in the kill feed. Unfortunately, didn't get to see them, but congratulations to those guys as they're trying to get some momentum going. It looks like they got it. And it looks like these guys potentially on the hunt. Hard to say exactly what, but not making any bad decisions, but definitely keeping an eye out, potentially trying to find a team. Yes, correct. There are so many teams that they had to split up Division 1 into Div 1A and Div 1B. As far as I'm aware, I guess I can't say for sure. I don't think there's any impact on placement on that based off of ESC like ranking or probability that they'll get in. I may be wrong on that, so do not quote me, but as far as I'm aware, yes, it's just because there were so many teams that were of the Div 1 level that they had to split it up into 2 halves. And it looks like these guys again are on the hunt, just really haven't found anybody. Oh, I may have spoken just a second too soon as we see Chef Jack laser someone. And can they find the knock? They do. And they find the elim. But it looks like they have another challenge as Jack gets boxed up and can't get himself out as he's going to get knocked. Does deal a lot of damage, but now puts Jordan in a bad situation here. Jordan's going to have a lot to do if he wants to get out of this engagement, as Jack has been eliminated from the drop. And it looks like Jordan is just going to try and get out of dodge. Going to take a little bit of damage through the air. But it looks like he is able to get out for the most part, but got chased down maybe. Oh, yes, he did. A big 14 and an elim there for the chefs. Very unfortunate drop for those guys. But let's go back to Team Guff and see how they're doing. And what an awkward situation we tuned in here. I think Lachlan had to use the potty. Little bathroom break mid-drop from good old Shammy. Don't drink too much water, y'all. They're not playing Fortnite, they're playing Battle of the Bladder. And Lachlan lost. Well, 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 look who's back. If it isn't Lachlan. Back from the bathroom and refreshed, hopefully. I'm very thankful that that didn't cost them the game. Oh, brother. What are we doing? I can't believe I just watched that happen. That's absurd that that just happened. That's so funny, actually. That might be top 5 streaming moments that I watched live. And it looks like these guys are just going to hold tight. Right on the edge of circle here, so Really not in a bad situation. There are some shots on the visual audio. And they do see someone right in front of them, and they do decide, and what a laser beam collaboration of shots there from Lachlan and Eli. And that is crushing there. We saw the wingsuit try to get deployed, but Eli got blocked by a wooden cone. And so it looks like they did maybe track that player down. Or track the player down. And again, what collaboration there from Lachlan and Eli. And this is why this team is so high ranked. This is why this team is expected to do so well this season. And we are seeing a masterclass so far. This drop number 2. And as long as these guys continue to play like that, this team, whew, the sky is the limit. Gonna try and get this care package as well. They are gonna get the movement buff there. Gonna take that launch pad and get back into circle. Are gonna have to use some resources here to get themselves back up to full health, but that is so funny. It's so true, though. I mean, hey, you know, when duty calls, literally. And these guys. Oh, actually, I didn't even see this knock that they got. I don't know who got it. It must have been Lachlan because we did not see it on Eli's perspective. Combined 3 kills for the team here. Some footsteps on the visual audio. Lachlan trying to find him. And Eli is the one that finds the second player. Don't want to take a lot of unnecessary damage to the storm there. Eli doesn't. Lachlan takes a little bit more, but that's all right. As these guys definitely have the resources now. Still 30 people left in this drop. 28, not counting these two, so... Trying not to take damage from the storm, but... so many teams in front of these guys. They're going to have to do something here. Eli trying his best to build. Actually does sit right on the edge. Lachlan clear as well. We just need to kind of group back up and take a couple seconds here. Use some of those resources that they have. It looks like they find another elim. 5 for the team here. They are going to use those resources. Both of them are going to get back to 200. going to see the wingsuits get deployed through the theme park all the way to the circle. Eli maybe had a tree, landed a little sooner than he wanted to. Lachlan just cut himself short there. And these guys trying to just hold the edge of this mountain here. And with their builds is actually a really solid idea. Puts them in a spot that a lot of teams probably aren't going to push. Now they are on the low ground, but some laser beam shots there from Eli as he's able to find 226 white shots. And Lachlan's actually going to find the knock. Eli gonna find the killing shot there. But Eli down to 1, and no, these guys get shut down. In a 15th place for Team Guff. Now, I don't think any of our other teams are still alive, but we will cycle through to see just in case. No, all of our other teams eliminated. So, wow, what a successful night of Fortnite. This has been drop 2, maybe a little worse than drop 1. Obviously, we didn't get to see all of the placements, so we don't totally know if that's the case or not for sure, but at least from the placements that we did get to see, we know that, yeah, definitely a little worse drop 2, but that's okay. Again, there's still a lot of rust. They still got to shake a lot off. So overall, very solid way to start week 1 of Fortnite spring season. There's still a lot of weeks to go. Coach Kyle giving Team Guff just a little pep talk, just a little motivational talk there at the end to make sure that they are putting the thoughts out of their minds, that they're still good to go, that they're still ready. And now maybe let's see if we can't get one of these guys up here. See if we can't get one of the Guff members up here to do a little quick interview. See if maybe we can't get Lachlan up here. It looks like. Yep, here it comes. Here it comes. We got him. Yep, we got him. Now, what are we doing? This guy put his hoodie on to take it back off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the booth for the first time this season. Shammy, a.k.a. Lachlan. How are you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Absolutely. So, so there's a couple things I want to talk about. We're going to start serious. Dropped tonight, 6th place with 4 kills and 15th with 5, I think.
6.
6? Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about how you're feeling after those drops tonight.
I'm feeling pretty good. On the second drop, I feel like we could have done better, but we kind of just got messed up. Like, we got that kill, so we dropped. We went to go get the refresh, and then there was like 2 teams just like spraying at us, and then this solo crept up on us and just like one-popped us. I'm like, yeah, what?
I want to talk a little bit now. You guys are in a very good spot for the ESC qualifiers here to book your ticket, but that's still a little bit away. So what are you guys doing week in, week out to kind of do your best to put that out of your minds to make sure that you're locked in for the week of Fortnite in front of you?
I'm just saying, pretty much this is what I'm thinking. I can't speak for Eli, but I'm kind of just like, if I make it, it'd be like, it's cool, but like if I don't, like, I could always try to make something else.
True.
You know?
Absolutely. That's a great way to look at it. And now finally, we got to have some fun for the end. Final question here. I believe we saw you go pee in the middle of your drop number 2. Which, talk to me a little bit about the, about that scenario.
Dude, I had to go, bro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man.
I had time, so we were just sitting in the roof. So I'm like, I'm just gonna. I had time.
But what if that would have cost you the game, though? How bad would you have felt?
Nah, Eli got it. I believe in my teammate. He usually wins me twos most of the time. So it's like, well, I got.
Okay, I mean, hey, you know, you're a better man than I am. I would have peed my pants before I went to the bathroom. So that's just me. But Lachlan, congratulations on some good drops tonight. I know we're gonna continue to see you up here. Hopefully, we get to see you guys book that ticket for ESC. So of course we'll be up here rooting for you. And thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can get his teammate up here as well. E the Bean coming up. This guy also going to take his hoodie off for no reason. I think he just might. No, he's not going to. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time this season, Eli, a.k.a. E the Bean, welcome to the booth. And how are you feeling?
What's up, man? Good.
Hey, that's good. So, obviously, we saw a 6th place with 4 and a 15th with 6. How are you feeling after the drops tonight?
We did good. First drop. It's obviously really good. Kills made up for a lot of the placements today. Definitely could have been easy, winnable games. It's definitely in the first game, but we can't control that.
Yep.
Just stick good the way that we're supposed to play. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I asked Lachlan a little bit about some of the pressure that you guys are facing with the looms of ESC and how well you guys are placed. Can you give me an insight on your mind about what you're doing to focus on the Fortnite that's in front of you guys?
I just want to go to Florida. I mean, I don't care about. I care, but I don't really care about just the placements. I care about the placements. I don't care about the placements because. Okay, let me reframe my words here. Okay, so I care about the placements, but once I'm in my game, that's how I play. I don't care about the placements then because all the first, second place, they're all in a different league than us. So we're technically in first in our league. So if I just have my mind on that, we're in first. We got this. Just stay first, be in the leaderboard, be in the divisions where we can play our best, and then make the land. Yeah,
absolutely. And one of the important things that you and Lachlan have down very much well is trust and coordination. And we saw Lachlan put a lot of trust in you in drop number 2, specifically when he went to the bathroom mid-drop. So can you talk to me a little bit about what that means for you to know that Lachlan has that much trust in you?
We had trust every time. I mean, yeah, he could trust me to 2v1 a fight. He could trust me to kill a kid and run away immediately. He could trust me to... I can trust him that if I die, he's going to get out of there. He's going to recruit me. He'll clutch it. He'll do whatever he needs to be. I can put all my trust into him. He can put all his trust into me. And I mean, that's just how we play.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great foundation for a team, a great foundation for a great team. So thank you so much for your time up here, Eli. Of course, we're going to be rooting for you guys up here. Of course, I know you're going to be back up here in the near future. And hopefully we do get to see you guys book that ticket to ESC. So until then, keep moving forward and congratulations.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. You as well. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what solid interviews there from our primary team of Guff tonight. Don't know if Coach Kyle's going to be potentially ready to get sniped yet. I'm not totally sure. Maybe we can get lucky. Maybe we can grab him. I don't know. Don't know if he's ready or not yet. So we'll see. Maybe Eli grabbed him. Maybe we got lucky. And it looks like no, he is ready. So he's gonna make his way up into the booth. The legendary, the returning man. It's been forever. Coach Kyle.
Legendary.
Welcome back to the booth. And how are you feeling?
Welcome back to the booth to you, man. I miss you, dude.
Absolutely. It's great to be back.
It's great to have you back.
Of course.
Ah, man, I'm doing good. I mean, you and I made that joke at the beginning of the match. Like, first drop of the season only goes one of two ways.
Yep.
It's either really good or really bad. And it went really good tonight.
I know,
really
absolutely.
So, yeah, no, very excited. A lot of new partnerships.
Yes.
A few returning partnerships where we really loved what we saw. And we were like, man, we're going to try to keep them together and try to keep them learning all the stuff that they need to be learning as long as they keep being consistent with those teammates they've got. And across the board, I saw some really strong stuff. So, yeah, super excited.
And I really want to highlight both of the new partnerships we got to watch tonight, Parker and Brady, both kind of mentoring new players in the Monday night scheme, into the competition, and in the highest level of that competition. So,
very much so.
can you talk to me a little bit about what you are giving Brady and Parker, the tools, the everything, because now they're not only, of course, playing, but also kind of coaching as well.
Well, let's be real for a second. Both with Parker and Brady, those are banner-winning players
Absolutely.
who have had massive experience as
Absolutely.
IGLs already previously. At this point, if I am giving them anything, it's moral support, it's guidance, and it's just the little tweaks, right? But for example, I'll use Nick and Brady, which was a phenomenal pairing. Nick joined us last season, didn't really get a chance to like fully experiment because his partner was here, his partner sometimes wasn't, and now has like Brady, who's been super consistent with him.
Absolutely.
But like for that, it's been just helping to manage the expectations of each other. And I don't mean that in, like, they don't know what to expect from the other person, because I don't think that's true. I think they clearly know what to expect from the other person. But it's just been like, okay, like, how do we push this forward, guys, just a little bit more? And they do. Like, they respond to it so beautifully. It's so fun sitting in the back and listening to Brady and Nick converse before they make a decision. Especially because Brady's IGL, which means that, what he says goes, and Nick's Fragger, but like to have the two of them take their input of the other person into account is massive. So one of the things, like for me, right, if I'm looking at Brady and Nick specifically as a pairing, is how do I get their individual talents to sort of push into what the other person is doing? Like, I love watching Nick and Brady play because I watched Brady make way more aggressive plays than he would usually make, because Nick's like, come on, we can get him. I got the angle. I know I do. And he's right. Or watching Nick take a couple steps back going, I don't know about this, because Brady is like, hey, I know you could, but what about this? And so that back and forth, if we're talking about one thing that I want to try to do as a coach, it's to encourage that back and forth, to keep that back and forth going, right? For Parker and for Roland, realistically, again, I always hope for a banner. You know this.
Of course.
I'm a relatively competitive guy. I don't think that's a secret to anybody
so,
watching.
Well, it's so funny. I literally said that, and I was like, I don't know if he's going to say that or not.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's the truth.
I am. 100%. Like, no person wakes up and goes, gosh, golly, Willikers, I'm excited to lose. Like, no one wants that. But for Parker and Brady, not for Parker and Brady, but for Parker and Roland specifically, I actually don't think I care too much if they get a banner this year, because what I'm noticing is in Roland, I have an energetic, aggressive, driven player. For those of you who don't know, Roland hit Unreal in about 3 weeks.
Which is massive.
Cinema?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, like his rank, we reported his rank, and we're like, oh yeah, he'll be division. Oh no, he's division 1 now. We're like, oh okay, great, love it. But like for him, having somebody who's responsible, who's even keeled, who's communicative is really different, because he is still pretty young, right? And having somebody to look to like Parker, who sets the tone, who sets the example, and who has that kind of experience, I think is a huge thing. And for Parker, I love the kid. He's 2 banners deep in his career here. He asks me every week, Coach, what it's going to take for me to get to Florida? What's it going to take for me to get to Florida? Coach, do you know anything about Florida? If I hear the word Florida from you one more time, Parker, I'm going to say no. But for Parker, the confidence that I want to see from someone of that experience level, it still isn't there. So I love that we have paired him with essentially a pit bull in human form in Roland, who's like, I'm here, I want to kill, I'm here, I want to kill, let me go, I want to go, Coach. And I just want to foster that relationship, because I think there's so much good that each of them brings that the other person doesn't necessarily have yet. That's really what I want. So
well, and that's
we win a banner, great, but
the really interesting part that you brought up is that we you're hoping to see a lot of that growth from Roland, but we saw a lot of that growth from Parker. I mean, when he came here, he was almost a shell of what he is today. Completely changed. Individual. So if there's really anyone that can teach growth, I would say it is Parker.
Well, and I think too, as much as Parker can teach that growth, I think Roland is going to hopefully be a good example of the sort of confidence I want to see. Like, I want Parker to walk into a league match where he's just like, all right, whatever, fine.
Yep.
I got
just
you.
Another day.
Yeah, whatever. It's a Tuesday. right? I don't know why I'm like starting to channel Crunk there. That's the poison for Kiska. Kiska's poison. But like that's the kind of confidence I want from Parker. So for me, those two teams in Pacific, I really just want the relationships to grow, to foster, and for them to take a little bit from one another to sort of push them forward.
Absolutely. And finally here, I wanna briefly talk about Guff, team that played very well tonight, a
Guff.
team that is very much in the hunt for that ESC.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
What do those guys need to do week in and week out to continue to hopefully book their ticket?
This is the thing that is both my favorite thing about high-level Fortnite, and I think the kids' least favorite thing about high-level Fortnite. We are no longer in a division where just being the best is good enough. It is now about tightening the screws. I see Eli is in front of the thing and not listening. I'm talking about you guys. Hi. Hi, guys. But one of the things that we're going to talk about is the little things, right?
Yep.
For example, I love how excited we get in the middle of a fight, but if you were watching that stream, you heard probably a 3-minute long stream of brain rot where like every other word, or every third word is English and the rest is this strange Mogwai gibberish language that Eli likes to say. And that's awesome because it's a sign of the enthusiasm, a sign of the excitement. Like that's a good thing ultimately. It's one of those things we kind of need to rein in a little bit because it's gotta, can't have that gum up the communication. In drop 2, which is the one that I was with, they were cruising. Great loadouts, strong positioning, good materials, an aggressive set of kills. They were pushing together, working together. The problem was we made one engagement and did not look. I spotted one team behind them. I said, guys, if you push, be aware there is a team behind you. Turns out there was not just one team behind us. There was
surrounding teams.
Correct. There was a team that we were pushing toward, a team behind us, and a team to left and right, and all.
And it was funny too, because I know obviously the people at home didn't hear, but I heard it. I heard you say that. Watch out! There's a team behind you, and then we were watching Eli's perspective, and you literally see him, like I don't know whatever movement item he used. He like dashes across, and then I heard you say that, and he whips, gets shot like once or twice in the back, builds the wall, and then whips back around.
And again, it's one of those things that's like, I know as an experienced player what to look for, right? And it's one of those things where I wish sometimes I could just take some of the game sense that comes with time and experience and put it into their heads. I will say, and I told them both this literally like right before they signed out, and I was like, guys, I am really happy with how tonight went. If this is our first 2 drops of season, if this is an indicator of future quality, this is the bar is up here, right? So again, it's the little things. It's learning to take about 20 seconds to look around, even if we're like, it's such an easy kill. It is an easy kill, but is that going to get you wiped and get you 15th as opposed to getting you 8th?
Exactly.
And the placement points that you need, right? So it's the little stuff now. It's the tightening of the screws. That's all it is. And it's tedious work sometimes. It's detail-oriented work sometimes. It's not everybody's favorite thing to do.
Arguably the work that sucks.
It is the work that sucks, but as you are well aware, nothing worth doing.
Counts.
Yeah, nothing worth doing doesn't suck.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you have to embrace the suck. So, getting them to do the little stuff like that. And I know we haven't talked about them, but I just want to give a huge shout out to Easton and Cohen, who played arguably 2 of our best Division 2 games tonight.
Oh, wow,
it was absolutely phenomenal stuff. I was with them for one game where they got second, basically off of Easton hugging dead side circle in a bush for about 30 minutes and literally weaving in between teams who didn't notice him rotate because of how he hugged them. It was insane. I wish you had seen it. It was some Fast and Furious level chicanery. It was great. And then they got 6th place in round 2. So, but like, that's what I mean. Like, we keep finding kids who want to push each other. And I think if you could take anything away from like one of the things that we bring to these kids, that's
absolutely
it's identifying who is going to help keep pushing, who is going to help keep growing. So
absolutely. Well, Coach Kyle, thanks so much for your time up here. Congratulations on some very solid Fortnite, and I know we'll back up here. So
I appreciate it, man. Welcome back. It's good to have you back.
Thank
you.
you,
everybody.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys loved hanging out. There is still a lot going on here. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's only week 1. It's only week 1 of the spring season. So there will be a lot more streams, a lot different games. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes open. keep your eyes tuned. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Keep your eyes open for notifications, for updates, for posts, anything about where streams are. They're always here. Typically go live around 7:15. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys look forward to all the updates and all the fun stuff coming, not only for the Twitch, but also in the season and the ESC. So for myself, Coach Christian, and all of the people here at Valhallan Camp Hill, thank you guys so much. Good night, everybody.